What knowledge might save your life one day? If you ever get held at gunpoint and asked to get in a vehicle, you fight with everything you've got to not do that. Run zigzag, punch and kick, do whatever even if you die in the process. Because 99% of the time, people who get in the car do not come back. Especially if being moved from a public place to a private place. I read a statistical breakdown of what happened when people fled from a possible kidnapper with a gun. I can't remember exactly, but I think it said only 50% of the time will the attacker shoot, and if they do shoot, there's only a 25% chance they will hit you, and if they do hit you there's only a 10% chance it will be a fatal wound. So in the end there's less than a 1% chance that if you run you will die, whereas going with the attacker almost always results in death. If you go swimming in a river, always check the bottom before jumping in. Even if it is the same spot you have swum in before. The bottom can be filled in with rocks and sediment during the spring. Also, if you are swimming in a very deep gorge or quarry, it is probably best not to jump in, even though it seems super tempting. There is sometimes a second current further down, and lots of people drown by going too deep when they jump in and not being able to get back up. Also, a thing I see in movies a lot is people trying to save someone who has fallen through the ice doing it the wrong way. Never stand. You need to disperse your weight. What you do is belly slide as wide as you can and make a chain of people. Once the person on the end has hold of the person in the water, only the people on the shore pull, and the people on the ocean not move. It is always super dangerous, and really should only be done in extreme emergencies. If you can, wait for real rescue to arrive. Say you're on a walk, a few miles away from your favorite military target, power plant, industrial center, army base, etc., when you suddenly see a bright flash in the distance. Odds are good this is a nuclear detonation. If you're at ground zero you're dead, but if you're a mile away or more you have several precious seconds with which you can do a few simple things to drastically increase your chances of survival. While the heat from the blast will kill anyone at ground zero, further out the biggest danger is the pressure wave. To survive it, you need to put something sturdy between you and the blast, preferably with nothing above you. A roof will likely collapse on you. A ditch, concrete barrier, low wall, etc. If you are indoors already and don't have time to get outside to a ditch, follow tornado rules, get to the basement, or under a stairwell or, as a last resort, door frame. Also try to get to the far side of the building from the blast. The wall facing the blast is the most likely to collapse. Once in your safe location, lie down on your stomach, turn your face away from the blast, close your eyes tight, and open your mouth. You can also cup your hands over your ears. That blast is going to be loud, but be careful not to form a seal or the pressure wave could out your eardrums. Once the pressure wave has passed, stay down. Wait for the reaction wave to go back in the other direction before you stand up. It's not going to be nearly as powerful as the initial wave, but may still have enough oomph to knock you over and slash or throw things at you. Once the pressure wave is done, the worst of the danger is over. Radiation is still a concern, but you've got a few hours before the bulk of it starts falling from the sky. During that time, put as much distance between you and the blast as possible, preferably traveling upwind. Remember, nuclear radiation is basically dust. If you protect yourself from dust originating at ground zero, you're protecting yourself from the majority of the dangerous radiation. Edit. As many commenters are pointing out, survivable distance varies dramatically with the type of bomb. Little Boy was survivable from less than a mile away. The Tsar bomb would be a challenge to survive from 20 miles away. How to recognize a stroke, fast. Facial droop, eyelid, lip, nose, whatever. Arm numbness/weakness. Slurred speech. Time to call 911. We only have limited time to save your brain if you are having an ischemic stroke. The more time that you lose, the more brain that you lose. After 3 hours of the onset of symptoms, we can't give you TPA, which is the strongest clot buster. Call 911 and tell them you, or your loved one, is having a stroke. This is so that the ambulance will know to take you to the nearest certified stroke center, if there is one in your region. If there is not a nearby stroke center, the local hospital should at least be alerted of what's coming in so they can start preparing transportation arrangements. Edit. T can also stand for time symptoms started. Someone doesn't need to be experiencing all of these symptoms before you call 911. FAST is also not an exhaustive, all-inclusive list of stroke symptoms. It's just meant to be a catchy way for lay persons to remember some of the big ones quickly, especially if the person has no previous history of these symptoms. If you're ever on a dark highway at night and suddenly an unmarked car behind you flips police lights on but you don't feel right about the situation, drive slowly and cautiously to a brightly lit/populated area before pulling over. You can also call 911 to find out if there are actually any cops in the area that would be out there to pull you over. If they say no, request for a cop to meet you at a nearby location. There are a lot of carjackers/muggers/etc. that use fake police lights to get people to pull over on a dark and lonely roads because who isn't going to stop for a cop? If it is a real officer, it may annoy them that you made them follow you for a few miles to a public area, but better safe than sorry, and as far as I know, as long as you are not leading them on a high-speed chase/clearly trying to evade them, they can't punish you for it. ENL though, and maybe some actual police officers can chime in. Edit. I get people being doubtful, but this is a kind of thing that happens, and for the people who say it's bad advice, the advice comes straight from the police departments themselves. http://www.news/local-news/show-hi-fan-tips-on-what-to-if-and-you-and-unmarked-car. Also as some double advice, if you ever come across something like this. https://youtube.b/clipsinf0y8. Just do like that guy did and get out of there and call the police. I'd like to add to this. We can recognize the situation and not flip out if you don't pull over right away, especially if you're going slow. i.e., not evading, turn on your hazards and drive slowly to a well-lit location, like a 24-hour business or gas station. If this is not available to you, call 911 immediately and tell them you're being stopped. Tell them where you are and describe the supposed police vehicle if you can. Look for some telltale signs. We wear a lot of insignia. There will be a police shield over the left breast or a sewn police shield patch. The shoulder patches should match the shield, your city police, your county sheriff. There will be a name tag and usually some collar brass letters on the flaps of the collar, that corresponds to the agency. PD, SO, YCPD, YCSO. You'll often hear the officer's radio traffic because he/she just marked out on the stop. However, some officers use earwigs, the earpiece, so if you don't hear anything, look for that. There are a few types of unmarked cars. One is the completely unmarked nondescript cars, no decals, lettering etc. with a light system in the grille or dashboard. There are the same type of cars with or without a light bar on top, sometimes called slick tops. Almost every patrol car has a front grille guard, cow catcher, bumper guard. Different agencies drive different vehicles, but it is usually an SUV or sedan. Pay attention to the light scheme. You'll rarely see just one light in the center dashboard or on top, the old school cherry. Some officers will use sirens, but not all. We are trained in the 7-step violator approach, which means we must introduce ourselves. Officer Fox the Chicken, City of Reddit Police, License and Insurance. If you are absolutely unsure, crack your window and explain that you'd like to see some verification first. I know this is risky, given that some cops can jump to conclusions, but like another user said, I'd rather an annoyed cop than be dead. I'd be happy to answer any other questions. Ninja Edit, Typos and Sheet. Edit, thank you for the gold, kind stranger.